On January 10th of this year, the Lake County Bar Association installed its 2014 officers. Taking the helm as president of the association is Michael Tolbert, a graduate of Valparaiso Law School, partner at Northwest Indiana's Hepner, Wagner and Evans, and now the first African-American president of the Lake County Bar Association. Michael Tolbert joins me now on Lakeshore News Tonight. Michael, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me this evening.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And I'm curious, and we mentioned this largely because it's MLK Day, but it's also germane to the story that you are the first African-American president of the Lake County Bar. Is that how you define yourself there in any way, shape, or form? Or is it more the fact that, as you've been called part of the young guard that's kind of invaded the Lake County Bar Association? How do you feel about your role there?
Well, I think that, it's extremely important, I guess, to highlight that achievement, but at the same time, I don't think it should consume the bar or the general public. I know when I didn't even realize that I was the first African-American bar president until someone reminded me of that about a month or so before I was sworn in. So, when I was told about the leadership opportunity and before the installation dinner, my main objective was just trying to make sure that the Bar Association continued to move in a positive direction. So race or gender or any other area wasn't really even in my mind. My total objective was just to lead the organization.
And I'm curious if people pointing that out to you, if to you a step forward or a step back. I mean, sometimes I think that when you cease to comment on things like that, then we've really gone a long way. But somebody pointed out to me that it's still important to highlight these things.
Yeah, I think especially since we're commemorating Martin Luther King's birthday today, I think it is important to highlight the achievements of people that possibly might come from impoverished areas. I come from Gary, Indiana, so when I grew up, there were a lot of folks in my community that were not lawyers, that were not doctors. There were some there, but not a lot. Mm-hmm. So when you do have accomplishments and achievements like that, I think it is important to highlight it so that people from those areas can see a positive image and one day aspire to one day maybe be a doctor or a lawyer. But I think to dwell and to focus on that only, I think is, I don't necessarily know, I wouldn't constitute it as a step back. But what I will say is that if we are still focusing on the fact that, hey, there's an African-American lawyer that heads the Bar Association and that is our primary focus and it just consumes us, then I don't think that that's healthy either.
Yeah, we're probably missing the boat. Probably the more important thing is how you got to where you are today. Is it something that was instilled, that you self-instilled or self-motivated, or do your parents, were they big proponents of education?
Yeah, my parents they've always focused, but I think most importantly, my parents instilled in me to have faith in God, and if you work hard and you have faith and you believe in Him, that anything is possible. So before education was even talked about in my home, the Bible was a primary focus in our lives and in our family. Then there was education, and my mom and my dad were very instrumental in making sure that I got an education, and it was not optional. It was required, and I thank them for that. And it was a long road, but my father told me, I remember when I was a little boy, he was planting some flowers in our front yard, and I said, well, when are those evergreens? They were evergreens. I said, when are those evergreens going to grow like tall? He says, well, by the time these evergreens grow tall, you'll be out of college. And I said, well, geez, how long do you think I'm going to be in school? And it was really amazing to me, but it was a teaching point for me because he said, hey, these are the years that it takes to go to college. I think I was in the 6th grade at the time. He says, well, you have to get through junior high school and elementary. Then there's 4 years of high school. Then there's 4 years of college.
That's too much to comprehend for a little guy. Now, I know in your role at the Bar Association, you guys do a lot of outreach things. For instance, today in honor of MLK Day, you did a Talk to a Lawyer Today event where it was free legal counsel for people all over in fact, all over the state who could come in and speak. What direction are you going to take the Lake County Bar as you move forward?
Well, we're still going to continue to do those outreach programs because I think is extremely important for the general public to, or for the lawyers in the Lake County Bar Association to engage the general public, because I think as a profession we do recognize that there is an erosion of the public's perception of our profession. So outreach is extremely important.
So
So
you
we'll do
have
that.
your work cut out for you.
Absolutely.
Michael, I want to thank you so much for taking
No,
the time
thank
to
you for
talk to me
having me.
today, and good luck in your venture as you go forward.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.